Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wax Still Live. My name is Betsy Goodman. I'm a wax still and lettering artist, and I'm super excited to spend some time with you today and make some fun wax stills. Hi, Trish. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Let me know how you guys are doing today, what you've been up to. Today, we are going to make dipped wax stills, which are really fun and easy, but kind of a different technique. And so I'm excited to show them to you. So let me know how your day is going. I'm going to show you some of the supplies that I have, and then we'll get started making. Okay. So some things that you're going to need today is parchment paper, if you have that. I'm out of parchment paper, which doesn't happen very often. So I need to go to Costco and get some more. So I've got some silicone makers mats right here. I have these in my shop, but you could also use a silicone baking mat as well. But I like parchment paper or silicone when we're using hot glue, which we are going to be using today. Let's see who we've got here. We've got Stacy's here, Valerie's here, Yvonne, Kimmy, Teresa. Welcome. Preparing to put my stills in my new acrylic case. Ooh, I love that. Hello from Pennsylvania, Jackie, Amani. Welcome, everyone. I'm so glad you guys are all here. So you need a surface to make it on. So today I'm doing my silicone mats because I'm out of parchment paper. You're going to need some stamps, and these you're going to want on an ice pack. So let me lift these one up and show you. So I've just got this ice pack. They've been sitting on there a few minutes. We just want them nice and cold. If the metal's cold, it won't stick to the hot glue. So just know those are on the ice pack. You're going to need a warmer. So I have two here. So this one is with a candle and it has this spoon. This one's from my shop. And then I also have my electric one. I can get it all the way over here on the screen. That's from my shop too. And this little spoon fits in there. So I have both of these. We're not going to use those till a little bit later. And then I've got my low temp glue gun heating up with crystal clear hot glue. And I have not yet plugged in my sealing wax. So I've got two colors right now. I brought a few different colors with me, but I'm thinking we can try some marbling. I've never done marbling with this technique, so I think we'll try it. But I've got champagne and nude. And so I think I'm not going to plug those in quite yet because I don't need them for a little bit. And then I am using crystal clear hot glue. Sometimes it looks a little blue like this. The brand I like is AdTech. And then the last thing I have here is a Krylon gold leafing pen. And I said that was the last thing, and there's really one more last thing. I've got some gold foil. I've got some gems and glitter, and I've got some flowers. So I just have a few things that we might try to add. I've only ever added gold foil. And so if you haven't seen these before, I wish I had an example, but I don't have one. So we're just going to make it and then you'll get to see. Okay. Andrew said, I ordered some new sills last night. I can't wait to get them. Oh, I'm so excited. I was also going to mention really quick that if you don't yet, you can get a notification for when this Wax Still Live starts. So if you text this phone number, just text the word live, and then you'll get a text reminder before I go live every time so that you don't miss it. Okay. Your metal spoon looks lovely. Where can we find it? That is from my website. And let me add that in. I'll add the link to my website, and then if anyone wants to take a look. So that's the link. But I have this one that's the warmer that comes with a candle, and then you get the spoon. Or I have the electric warmer that comes with the spoon as a part of it. And then Kelly asked, when does the kit go out, the lettering kit? So I have a lettering box. It's a subscription box that actually shipped out on Monday. So you should be getting it. It usually takes 3 to 5-ish days, depending on where you're located in the US. So I'm in Utah. So depending on how close you are to Utah is how quick you'll get it. Some people have already gotten theirs. So you should be getting it super, super soon. Okay. And then Mary said, have you tried any of the non-stick spoons? Yeah, this one is a non-stick. So it has like a Teflon finish. So we can kind of see how that works. I'll show you guys. And they do work really nice. Once they cool, the wax just like totally pops off. So for me, it's more like visual aesthetic would be the reason to get this one. This one's also a deeper spoon versus wider. And for this dipping method, the wider is actually going to be better. Okay. So I'm not going to need my warmer first. The first thing I need to do is just make some hot glue sills. So I've got my 2 mats here, and I'm going to be just doing a bunch of stamps from the Nearly Summer collection. They're almost all round. I did grab that one that's oval, but the rest are all round. So I just want to tilt my hot glue all the way to the mat as close as it can go. And then I'm going to press. And I can see that there's lots of, let me see if you guys can see this. Can you see there's lots of bubbles happening? Sorry, I'm like, I need to hide that. There we go. There's lots of bubbles. So I've had it plugged in while I was setting up to make sure it's hot enough. But at this point, I can unplug this so that I'm hopefully going to get less bubbles. So, and I'm just going to try to fit as many as I can on this mat. This one didn't have hardly any bubbles, but then it got more. I've also been curious how hot glue will do if we try to pop the bubbles. I don't know if it'll work the same as it does with sealing wax. With like a big bubble on the top, maybe. Yeah. So if you did get the lettering box, thank you so much. And let me know if it's already arrived, because a few of you were saying that your box arrived. Let me know your favorite item. What's your favorite thing from this box? It's a happy birthday themed box. If you missed it, the next one's going to be coming in the fall. Okay, so we've got a few cooling over here. We're going to do a few more. I think I want to keep it kind of a round theme. So we'll do a couple big ones here. Let me know if any of you guys have done hot glue on marble, because I've not tried that yet, and I've been wondering, I'm just worried it'll just stick. You know what I mean? Okay, I'm going to grab another hot glue stick. Okay. Nikita said, I'm back. Looks like our internet connection just went down. Well, I'm glad it worked and you're back. Ordered all the birthday sills. Yay! Yeah, the birthday sills are sold out. They did sell out really fast. And it's just, you just never know what's going to be the items that everyone loves, because everything in the shop I love, but some things just sell really quickly. So I've ordered more, but it'll still be probably a month and a half before we get more birthday stamps in the shop. Mary's here, and Mary from New Jersey and Mary from Washington. Welcome. Okay. At this point, I've got a pretty good little collection of hot glue sills going here. I need to plug in my sealing wax now. So I've got my sealing wax in low temp glue guns, but I have not plugged them in yet at all. And you just want to make sure when you're doing it. I just checked this one, it was on high, and I never use it on high, but I think sometimes it just gets switched when it's rumbling around in a bin. So just always double check that. And I'm going to plug these 2 in while we're doing this next step, and then they'll be ready to go when we're ready for them. Let's see. Heidi asked, are you bringing back the 3D peony? Yes, that one is also, when I went through, I'm basically doing a restock of the whole website. So anything that was out of stock or that is out of stock, I'm restocking, as long as it's like, I'm not going to restock Christmas items or Valentine's per se, but just like stamps that work for any time of year, I'm restocking all of those. So yes, the 3D peony will be on that one too, which will be really fun. Okay, so for hot glue, you're going to know that it's cool. It should just come off the silicone mat, and it should also just come off of your stamp really easily. If it's sticking at all, one reason could be that this stamp isn't actually cold enough. I've also had some stamps that for some reason just get stuck a lot to the hot glue, and I'm not sure why, and I just don't end up using those. And I think it has something to do with like scrapes and things on the blank part. I don't know. There was one that it's the rosemary stamp from my shop. And anytime I try it in hot glue, it just doesn't, my specific stamp. When I've used a new one, it works fine, but it's the one that I've had for a while. Doesn't seem to work well. These look so pretty. Like, I feel like you could just leave, like this could be the sill. It just looks so pretty with all the clear. I'm really liking that today. Second Chance Crafting. I am so late. You're not late. We just started. We're only like, we're like 10 minutes late. I'm being naughty again today, sort of watching and listening and working at the same time. That's okay. Yeah. I feel like when I used to work as a graphic designer the last 8 years before I've been doing this business full time now. And there were certain parts of my job that I could listen to something while I'm also working. Other parts, it's like, I need to focus. But sometimes it's like, sometimes it works where it's like, you can have something going in the background to listen to while you're getting your work done. Okay, so I'm putting all of these back on my ice pack so they can get cold. I don't know if it's the lighting or what, but I'm like really into the clear right now. I'm like, well, it just looks so pretty today. Okay, so I'm getting a paper towel and we'll shake up our Krylon Gold leafing pen. Amy said my box is scheduled to arrive tomorrow. Awesome. Yeah, so boxes should be getting there. If you got a lettering box, should be arriving very soon. Okay, so I just want to make sure I don't want a ton of flow because I'm only doing the designed part of the sill right now. And I'm going to keep my eye on these glue guns because I just don't want them to be getting too hot. So I just want them to warm up and then kind of keep them there. And I think I'm going to get one more paper towel, and I think I'm going to color on this. So then another great reason to add the gold to the edge of your sills is because they just stick together when they're hot glue. So I'm not coloring the edge. Well, I wasn't going to, but maybe we could on some of them. I don't know. Should we color the edge or not? You guys might not know exactly what we're doing. I've shared this technique last fall, but I haven't made them since. So if you didn't follow me then, you've probably not seen this before. I'm like, let's do some. The ones that have a lot of bubbles, we'll do the edges. How about that? And the rest, we're just going to color the raised part. So this is kind of the most tedious part of the process, but I just love the way it looks when it's done. And this one just turned out so nice. No bubbles at all. So this one, I'm trying to see which other ones have a lot of bubbles that we might want to do the edge on. This one had a lot of bubbles in there. And then as needed, you just are going to repump your pen so it has more flow, and then keep going around. So this morning I took my son to a orthopedic doctor because we noticed like a month ago, I think we were on vacation, we saw him walking like away from us, and we're like, he's walking kind of funny. Like his gait was a little weird, and just the way his feet were. And then we looked at the bottom of his shoes, and they're like all worn in like the inside. Anyway, so he has what's called, um, now I'm forgetting it, flexible flat foot, I think. And basically it was like, well, unless he has pain, it's not a problem, which is like, that's a really good thing. Um, but I'm like, I wish we didn't have to make an appointment just to find out that information. Like, so it was like a 5-minute chat. It was like, this is what it is, but it's not a big deal, which is good. It's not a big deal. But so that's what I spent the morning doing. I worked for 4 hours yesterday doing wax seals over a circle of cardstock, and not one of them turned out. The hot glue would give me a circle. When I put the stamp in it, the hot glue went sideways. I tried everything. Any ideas? I'm wondering how hot was your wax and or hot glue, because I think sometimes when it gets really hot, it gets very like flowy and won't stay in like a specific shape very well. So I don't know if that's part of it. I'm not exactly sure. I feel like I'd have to kind of see it to know what's going on. Do you have a photo maybe that you could DM me? I have to wear orthotics as my feet turn inward. Yeah, that's what his were kind of doing, going like this. So that was most of the morning, was doing that. Let me know, guys. Let me know what you guys did so far today. Nothing super exciting. I am planning something in the fall that's a little exciting, and it's something that I've been like wanting to do, but like I don't know. But it's I'll just tell you guys. So what I was gonna do was, for my Wax Seal Club members, they get a stamp and waxes every other month. And so on the months that weren't every other, I was gonna give them this option of getting another stamp. But then it's a little confusing of an offer, because it's like only if you're a member and only on these certain months. So I've decided I'm gonna do, what it will be is like a stamp of the month. So right now, the Wax Seal Club is every other month, and this one will be every month and just the stamp. And there will be a special like deal if you're already in the Wax Seal Club, because I know a lot of those members wanted to get it. So anyway, I'm really, because I've been on the fence about doing that or not doing that. So I'm gonna get all the details together and design a bunch of stamps for it, but I think it's going to be really fun in a great way. So basically it will be like a stamp of the month, but I'm going to call it, I think, the Wax Seal Collectors Club. Okay, check this out. You see how I've got too much flow? There's like too much gold happening. And it's okay, like it's going to sink into these little grooves, but you just want to kind of dab off the gold, and then you can go more. But even right now, I've got too much flow on there. And that just makes it harder to keep the gold where it's supposed to be. Okay, so we did these ones. I think actually let's do like one more round of hot glue, because these kind of need to dry before we can touch them and dip them. And some of these will dip, and then we'll add gold to anything else that's showing. Vaughn said, when I squeeze the gun for hot glue on big seals, I put my tip in the puddle so it is more of a mound of same temp glue, if that makes sense. Yeah, that could help. We've got lots of good things. Stamp completely vertical instead of tilted sideways. That's a great idea. Jennifer said, I'm excited for the stamp of the month. Me too. I think it'll be really fun. And I'm still working out the details, but it's like one of those future things that thinking about it makes you excited, and then I know it's like a good idea. Tammy said, last day of school, I work at the high school library. Looking forward to summer, teaching kids art camps and making art all summer. That sounds awesome. You should do wax seals with them for the kids' art camp as an idea if you don't already have your everything lined up. I like the idea of stamp of the month. Awesome. Hi, Debbie. Welcome. Okay, so these ones are drying, and my sealing wax is now, let me show you. It's very warm. You can see it's super runny. So I've got it heated up now. I can unplug it. And I'm going to plug in my hot glue again. And let's do a few more. I'm like, I don't think these, maybe. Let's see if we can do the designed part on these as well right now. Well, except I'm going to get this off. I love that you're going to be teaching art classes. Let me know if you guys have any other fun summer plans. We still have school through the first week of June, so we still have like 2 more weeks left to go. But yeah, people have been asking me like, oh, what are you going to do for the summer? And I was like, we actually do more vacations during the spring and the fall. Like, we like to do a lot of hiking in southern Utah where it's pretty warm down there. And so we don't really go there in the summer because it gets really hot. So I've been thinking like we need to plan something fun for a little summer trip or something because we don't really have anything planned right now. So if you have ideas of fun things you're doing, let me know. I love this stamp. Let me see if I can get this closer. I think that one's so pretty. It's 3D. I'm going to bring this whole thing down a little bit and then see if I move this. I'm like trying to make it so the shadows aren't showing up right where we need them. Okay, we're just going to add gold to these ones. We'll make a few more hot glue seals, and then by then the gold will be dry and we'll be ready to start dipping. So the idea is basically we're just dipping an edge of the sill into sealing wax. And so it's just kind of a fun little technique. That one's cute. Little moon stamp. Okay. This one is moth. So I guess this one's not in the latest collection. This one and the moon one, I think they were from last fall. But I believe they're in the shop right now. But they're very cute. Okay, last one. So this is like a nice flow for coloring the designs. Like it's coming out, it's covering everything well, but it's not like so much that it's getting places where you don't want it to be. So these are all good. So I'm just going to pick them up and set them over here. They can dry really quick, and we'll do a few more hot glue seals. Trish said, I'm going to a watercolor retreat at the beginning of June. That sounds so fun. You guys are so artsy. I love it. I've been hiking in southern Utah. Yes. Yeah, I love southern Utah is a great place for hiking. It's very beautiful, especially if you really like the desert type hiking, which we do. I'm like, I want to find some that I haven't pressed yet. Here's one. So that's a good reminder. Find your stamp before you pour your wax. Man, I'm grabbing all the ones I've already done. Well, I guess we'll just redo some. Okay. One thing about silicone mats, I don't know if you can see this, there's like little fuzzies. Sometimes they'll get like little fuzzies or things on them, which then can end up in your seal. And so what I'll do sometimes to clean them off is use a big piece of tape and just push it down and put it on there, and that will kind of get any little fuzzies off. But that, it seems like that happens always when I'm using my silicone mats. This one, that one's already cool, so I'm going to move it a little bit and fit. Another thing that will happen when you're doing this is you'll get condensation. Do you see that on the top of your seals? So you just want to make sure to wipe that off so it doesn't end up as part of your seal. I'll do a few more. I'll find a few other. Yes, these are all new ones. We'll do these ones. So yeah, excited about the wax seal, or the, I'm like, I don't even know the name of it. Wax Seal Collectors Club. That's what I'm thinking, if you have a better idea. I like Stamp of the Month because it's a very like, that's what it is, but I don't want people to get confused, to confuse it with like ink stamps, you know? But I'm also have a flower workshop coming up in June that I've been working on getting that all squared away. So that one's going to be really fun. It'll be 3 days, and we're going to be doing flower sills. So I'm really excited about that. That'll be a fun one. Okay, I got a little off center on a couple of my presses, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. Summer is the busiest time of year for me between gardens and wedding photography, but I'm hoping to maybe do a few trips here and there. Love it. I didn't know you did wedding photography, Kimmy. That's very cool. Yeah, weddings. Yeah, summer's definitely a big wedding season. There's that. This one just presses good in the hot glue. Look at that. That's so nice. This one, this is in the latest collection. I think it's like flower lace or something because there's little tiny flowers in it. We'll pull these off. All right, let me check my sealing wax. Still warm, which is perfect. So we'll get ready. We can start actually dipping some of these. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know what's going on today, but I'm like loving the clear. I think, well, we did flower sills last week. And so those were clear too. I don't know why. I'm just like, just seems extra clear today or something. Okay, so these ones are ready. So we'll try an example. This one is not super great because it has this huge bubble. So that's where we'll dip it, is we're gonna dip it on that side. So from here, what I wanna do is I'm gonna have both going. Because I was thinking we could try doing a double dip, which sounds funny. And we could try also doing some marbling. Let me get this in a spot where we can kind of see it. And then I am going to plug these glue guns back in that have the sealing wax, so they're ready to go. How about Wax Stamp of the Month Club? I like it. I do like the idea of like month being in the name, you know, so then it's like very clear this every month, you know. So yeah, still thinking. Okay. So this one is going to be nicer for dipping because it's a wider spoon. Because look at this. When we put this in here, well, it goes down kind of deep, but we can't go as deep as we could in this other one. So I think what I'm going to do is do the first color, which would be this one. Okay, so you could totally just melt beads, but I don't have beads of these specific colors, and I wanted these specific colors. So for this method, when I've done it, I just pour from the glue gun into here, and then it will warm it and keep it warm while I'm doing all the dipping. And this one, this one I'm going to fill pretty full. I'm going to need another stick. And we'll try it. So what I've done before is just dipped one color and put some gold foil on it, and that was it. So we can do that. I'm thinking we can try the double dip situation, but the first one, maybe we'll just try one. But I do still need my mat, and I need this. So this one, we're just going to dip it, and that's it. We're not going to do anything else. So we're just going to go in, and you kind of pull it off and set it down, except, look, I didn't set it down well because we can see all of that wax underneath, which is okay. So let's try another one that's just like that. Just one. Maybe try this one. And so it doesn't matter if it covers some of the design. I think it's so dip and then do a wipe and then just set it down. I think this needs to be a bit warmer because it's drying. It like dried before it's dry now. I'm like, can I take it off? I might be able to re-dip it. I need it to heat up a little more. That one's looking a little bit warmer. So I'm just trying to show you the first part of the technique, which is just the dipping part, and then we'll add in the other things on top. Yeah, can you guys see how it created a string like this? It means the wax isn't quite hot enough, like it's cooling before I'm even done. Okay, so let's let that warm up. While that's happening, I grabbed a few different things. I did grab foil, which is what I've used before, but I kind of want to try a gold glass glitter. How do you prevent waste from changing colors with the sealing wax in the glue gun, or do you just have a lot of glue guns? I have a glue gun for every color, so I'm not the norm, but that's not normal. I know that's not normal. So what I would say is when you're switching colors, if you try what you can do, so if you're starting with this color and then you're like, I want to change to blue, you can run through glue sticks until you get to the blue. You can make seals out of that hot glue that's marbling with the wax, and they turn out really pretty because it's marbling. And so I would just put your stamps on an ice pack and just make some hot glue seals while those ones are going through, and then eventually you'll get to your second color. But I think if you have a favorite color especially, I would get a glue gun just for that. I would definitely get a glue gun for white and or vellum, because those colors, if you put anything else in white, it's never going to be white again. The same with vellum. If you add any other color, it's not going to go back to what it was. So let's see. I thought I had some like champagne colored. Oh, here it is. So I have like a gold glass glitter, but this one's from Michaels. It's Recollections glass glitter. But I really like this. There was glass glitter in the Waxo Club box, so you could pull that out as well. So let's see. Let's see if this is warm enough. I'm going to re-dip this one so that yes, better. The thing is I need to press it down better so it's a better, set it down a little better. Let's see. It's kind of giving like dessert candy vibes or chocolate, you know? That one's better. And then we just set it down gently. And if we had our glitter out a little sooner, we'll see if this will stick. We could put a little bit of glitter on the edge. So I kind of made a mess with my glitter, as per usual with glitter, right? So I'm going to pour some of this into my lid so I just have it ready. Set this over here. Okay, so I feel like we're at the right temperature where we could actually do this now. Jackie asked what color, so I've got nude and champagne. Is this darker? Okay, so let's do a few. These ones are already gold. So I don't know with these colors if it is going to look good or not, but I want to try doing like a double dipped one. Or maybe we should just try a single first. Let's just try a single with glass glitter and see if we can get that. So I'm going to dip it, and then I'm going to kind of wipe off the edge. And then I'm going to set it down. And add a little bit of glitter. I didn't bring my gold powder up here, but I have a powder that better matches these colors than this gold doesn't really quite match. Okay. So here's one, and if we let that dry, this is getting too hot. So I'm just going to set it over here for a minute and let that cool down. This is still okay, and I'm going to add a little bit more. I wish I would have brought up that other gold powder so it would match better. It just feels like the gold and this color don't match as well, you know? Like it's a little bit off. But oh well. We'll go with it. Okay, let's try one that's like this. Let's just dip this. We'll dip this one in here. And you kind of need to wipe off the bottom a little bit and then set it down. Ideally, not as shaky as I just did it. I'm like, should we take a field trip and go get, because this is bugging me so much. What do you think? Do you feel like it's okay? We'll just go with the gold, or do you think we need to get a metallic powder that's more in the right tone? Because it just feels off. Let's see. So we need at least 2 glue guns. You don't have to, but I would recommend it. But for this technique, you don't even have to have a glue gun. You could even just cut the sticks down and melt them in your spoon, or put beads in. That would work too. So you don't have to have glue guns for this. What is the potency of the glue gun for the silicone bars? Because I'm using a small one and it won't pour the silicone like that. I guess, are you asking like how hot it gets? So I just have mine on low. But if you're using a small one, yeah, maybe it doesn't get up to the same temperature. I'm not really sure. Wendy says take the field trip. Okay, we're gonna take a little field trip. And you're gonna see how my wax seal stuff is a little disorganized. Okay, so we'll take a little field trip. The gold is too yellow. It's not looking right. And I'm 98% sure I know where the powder is. It's in the basement. So this is where all my shop stuff is. You might get a little peek of that. So this is the basement. This is all our waxes. All the stamps are back there. And then this is boxes. And then I have another rack in the other room too, and it's slowly taking over the entire basement. But then I've been keeping my wax seal stuff in this bin because it's easier to move it around. But then also, here it is. Got it. I had been storing stuff in our living room in like a little, I don't know what it's called. It's not a credenza. It's like this thing underneath the TV that has shelves and stuff. But a friend gave my kids one of those old Nintendo 64s, and so they have been playing it there and just had it sitting out, and I'm like, oh, it looks so bad. So I took all my craft stuff out. Anyway, so there you go. Peek into messy house. Okay. Okay. I think this will be better. Yes. I already feel better about it. So I'm thinking we already did some in gold, so I'm going to save those because I think they would look fine with different colors. So I also had grabbed blue, so maybe if we have time, we'll do some that are blue as well. And I think that would look great. But I think for these specific tones, it'll just look better with the powder, and we can add that at the end. So I'm going to put this back on, my little warmer, with my candle. And this is still going. That was our practice one. Okay, this one was going to be the one we tried to double dip. So and that was now practice too because it has the gold. So let's start again. So let's do one that is just this color. You guys see this? And I try to dip where it might need it. So like this side looks heavy, like it's a little bit off-centered, so I might dip on that side to try to cover that a little bit. And then I'm going to lift this up so I can kind of get the bottom scraped, and then I can just try to set it down. That one worked a little bit better. Okay. And I should have added the little glitters sooner, but we'll add them now. And I kind of want to push them in a little bit. Not a lot, but I've noticed that this, I touched it with my finger. I'm going to just fix that little spot. I've noticed that glass glitter sticks better on hot glue than sealing wax. So that's why I kind of pushed it in. Hopefully that'll help keep it in place a little bit. So let's do a few more like this one. And then we can switch out our colors and try blue. This one, let's see if we can do more than one color. That one's gonna cool. And let's do one that's just this color. Okay, so we'll put that down. I think the glass glitter is going to be fun. I'm kind of liking it better than the foil that I did the last time. Okay, so there's that. Let me check your guys' questions. Oh yeah, that is a big glue gun. I have the small one. Yeah, so maybe a bigger size I think might help with that. Lauren said, I'm new to your page and work and I love what I see. Is it glue in the glue gun or something else? So I have both. So I've got this one is hot glue, crystal clear hot glue, and it's the AdTech brand. And then I also have the color. So anytime you see a color, it's going to be sealing wax. So it's kind of a different consistency, but you can use both hot glue and sealing wax to make wax seals. Let's see. My glue gun has no temp setup, just off. Yeah, it might be, maybe you could try getting one that's regular size. They're about between $10 to $12. So this one I'm going to take and dip it into our second color. We'll see if we like that or not. Try to get this in a spot you guys can see. Okay, so I'm going to do a second dip. So I don't want to cover the first one all the way and kind of wipe that off. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to add the powder to it to get the full effect, and then we can decide like, yeah, we're into this or not so much. I do want to try marbling it as well. It just kind of reminds me, oh, sorry guys, you can't see this part. It reminds me of like chocolate, dipping chocolate or candies or something. Okay, so then the other thing I was thinking we could try is marbling. So if we take this one and we put a little bit of our dark in it, and then I just need to clean off the edge of my spoon before I stick it back in my warmer so I don't get wax everywhere. And then you could use a toothpick. I didn't grab one, but I got one of this little tool, which will work just fine. And we can kind of marble it ourselves. If you let the wax melt naturally, you'll get really, really beautiful marbling. So this is kind of not as good as it would be if we just let it naturally, but it'll still work. Okay, we've got a few more. Let me grab my other mat. Okay. And we'll do the same thing. We're going to dip and wipe off the bottom and set it down. This is kind of fun. We'll have to vote on what we like the best. So that's more of a marble. It is, these colors are pretty close in tone. So for a better marble, I'm like, I didn't bring my white. I have two blues that might give us a better marble that we can try that might work a little bit better. Let's see. April said, I'm late. Bad time of day for me as the granddaughters are just getting off the bus. That's okay. I'm glad you still made it. Recently bought black glue gun sticks and I really like it. I love the black. Lori said, hi everyone, I made it. Yay, I'm glad you were able to come. Okay, so at this point, I'm gonna take this out and let it cool, and I'm hoping I can get it to cool soon enough so that you can see how it just pops out. We could also make a seal. Maybe we'll also just make a seal with some of it so that there's less to cool. And there's some pretty hot. Let's see if I can pop these bubbles here. And we'll try one more over here. That way we'll just use up all this wax. And then this should cool, and I can show you how the non-stick spoon works because it is really nice and convenient. And pop all our little bubbles. Okay. This one is all just this color. These ones are dry, so I'm going to move them over. This is just champagne. I'm thinking let's make a seal with this as well. I didn't quite get that centered, but that's okay. So even if I don't love that, I can cut it down and use it as a bead in the future. So for this spoon to clean it, I'm like, I still have a tiny bit in here. So you're going to want to try to use as much as you can. And this one, it's not quite enough to press. I could just let it cool like that. And then it makes it like a bead essentially, and I can just remelt it. But for this spoon, you have to clean it while it's hot. So that's how you get all of the wax out of it. And if you're cleaning it and you're like, oh, this wax is not coming out, heat the spoon back up again, and that will help. But you should be able to get all of it off. So then it's nice and clean. Mine has these like permanent marks from the flame, which is just how it is. So that one's done. In the meantime, I'm going to unplug my glue guns and I'm going to plug in blue. So we'll do that now. And I think the blue will look good with the gold. But I'm like, it would also look good with these other colors too. So we'll see. We might have to make a few more hot glue cells. So let me get these plugged in here. So I've got linen blue is my light blue that I'm doing, and dusty blue. These are both out of stock. They're such popular colors. They're actually really hard to keep in stock. But more are coming very soon. I've got a lot of colors that are getting restocked that I'm really excited about. So we'll get those ones cooling. And let's go ahead. These we don't need right now. We're just letting those cool. So I'm going to get the glass glitter off. And I'm just going to set this aside. Oh, I forgot. Okay, I bought this. I was like, I'm going to use this for my extra wax to turn them into beads. But it's like little flowers. And so I was like, how cute. I could make my excess wax, I can turn it into little flower beads. So the next one we'll do that instead of making extra sills. And I'm just going to try to get this glass glitter back in here. Okay. Let's see. Walmart and Amazon are priced at $10.40 for Surebonder. Yes, so this pen is $10.40. So good deal. Hobby Lobby, when mine at least did not have this one there. And so Walmart's a great option for that. Internet is down, so I had to switch over to YouTube. This is Nikita again. Hi. I got some nonstick spoons. Some of them, the wax pops right out, and some of them it sticks. Is there a difference in cheaper spoons maybe? Interesting. I don't know. Yeah, maybe it has to do with the spoon. I'm wondering, does it have to do with the wax? Like the type of wax it is maybe makes a difference? I don't know. One of my glue press sills is stuck on a marble coaster and it will not budge. Any tips? Glue press sills. Art palette doesn't do anything. Okay, so you're saying hot glue. Try putting the whole thing in the freezer and see if then you can pull it off. That would be, if anyone else has any ideas, put them in the comments, please. Where did you get that item? I'll share the link after. I just got it on Amazon. I saw it one day. I can't remember what I was looking for, but it like popped up and I was like, ooh, I could put sealing wax in that. And so we'll try it on the next ones and see how it comes out. Did you try using a heat gun or hair dryer to heat it off and pop it off? That's a great idea, to try to reheat it and coming off. Kathy said it was hot glue. Yeah, maybe try this like either in the freezer to get it cold and pull it off, or you could try to reheat it and then maybe wipe it off. Might work. Amy said freezer works great. So yeah, those are some ideas. Hopefully that will help. Okay, let's add our gold to these and then we'll be ready to do some blue. Like actually maybe we should make some hot glue ones real quick while we're, so I'm just going to move these over. So I don't know if the double dipped just looks kind of like too much, but we'll see. I think I like this one the best because there's kind of contrast between the glitter and the wax, but I think both are pretty. Okay, so these ones, we're going to add powder. And I'm just going to clean off this mat really quick. I don't get glitter everywhere. Okay, let's do a few more hot glue stills, and then we'll add our gold. So this is my hot glue is barely warm enough. This is a great temperature if you're adding sealing wax to a hot glue that you want it to stay the shape it's in. That's about the temperature you need. Okay. So that's plugged back in, and I'm still just going to make a few more. Whoa, sorry guys. We're still going to dip the gold ones in blue, but I'm like, I really want a cohesive set. So I'm like, I want to have the blue ones have the same powder, all of that, as these ones. So we'll try it. Let's see. It's a good one. Okay, I'm trying to see how. Okay, this is cooled now, so it should. Well, maybe it's not as cool as it needs to be to pop out. Like if I get a little. Let's wait a little more. But the last time I did it, it's like once it's fully cooled, it just comes out right away. So it might be that it's a little too warm still to do that. And let's check in on our blue sealing wax is warm. And our light blue, let's do a little check. Yes, those are both plenty warm. So I'm gonna unplug those and then we'll be ready to add them. Let's just see if I can get the spoon cleaned. The wax still in the spoon looks like hot cocoa. It does, huh? That's funny. They look like tiny Christmas ornaments. Why not put them in an ice bath? Yeah, I feel like usually the last time I did it, it just did pop out. But I'm just like, oh, there it goes. So I just had to kind of pull at it a little bit and then it will just pop out. So that works pretty well. I will say there's some on this side that's like, this is not peeling off very well. It's just kind of stuck on there. So, but I mean, like this amount, I probably would have just wiped out with a paper towel, but now we can remelt it. So it definitely, I feel like it does help you save some. Okay, so let's try our blue now that we've got, like, try and make sure this is in camera for you guys. Okay, so put our spoon back in and let's do the dusty blue and just let that heat up. And then my candle actually went out. We'll see if I can get this relit. The wick's kind of down in the wax a little bit. There we go. And this one, I'm going to put the light blue in. I'm going to do a little more, actually. This one has to kind of be to the top so that you can actually get. Okay, so those are warming up, and then I can take these ones off. Let's see. Maybe put the spoon on your ice pack. Yes, that's a good idea. How do you like the electric melters versus the candles? That's a good question, Brenda. I think I like, well, okay. So what seems to happen for me is the one over a candle seems to get like hot, like really too hot. And then I've got to wait for it to cool. Where usually I feel like this one, it kind of maintains a little bit of a better temperature, like not too hot, but right now it's looking a little too hot. And I just haven't used this spoon shape as much. It's nice that it has a pour spout on both sides for left and right-handed people. This one only has the one pour spout if you're right-handed. And I'm more used to pouring this with this spoon, so I feel like I'm better at it just because I've practiced more. But I don't know. I'd love to hear what you guys think. If anyone who has electric versus the candle, if you guys have a preference, because I don't know. I don't pull one out because it's my favorite. I just kind of rotate between the two. So I don't know. I like both. I think the electric is nice if you have little kids or pets nearby while you're doing your wax seals so that they're not around a flame. If that's an issue, that can be a good reason too. Let's see. Mary said, I just sent you a picture of my hot wax seals. I'm not sure. I'm not that great at sending pictures, so I hope you get it. Okay, I'll check that out after this and see if I can figure out what's going on with it. Brass handle versus the metal handle. I'm not sure which you're asking. Like if just brass, meaning like this one versus the non-stick. I think the non-stick is nice, but it's not a big enough deal for me that I would choose it just for that. So yeah, let's see. I prefer electric for safety. Marilyn says she prefers electric. April prefers electric. Stays pretty consistent with heat. I prefer the spoon for wax and the gun for hot glue. Just a preference though. Yes. So I'm with you on that. With hot glue, keeping it in a glue gun. I haven't had good experience melting hot glue in the spoon, but maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm not doing it right. I don't know. Okay, let's try a few of these. So we're just going to dip these. And I don't know if I like the double dip. I think just a single is kind of fun. And we set it down. And then we add a little bit of glitter. Let's do 2 dark blue and then 2 light. And you got to be pretty quick on the glitter because it won't stick on otherwise. Like if you're not fast, the wax will cool too quickly. Okay, let's try this one. And like, let me rearrange really quick so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. So here's this one. So we'll dip it in, scrape off the bottom, and then place it down. And I don't know if the glitter's kind of stuck. I love this color though. And you can kind of try to press the glitter into it a little bit. Okay, so let's try adding the powder and see how that looks. Let's also try using our little thing. I'm excited to see if this works because I know if you guys follow Strictly Rita, she has one that's like a gummy bear one, and I think she has like a fruit one. And so I've just been like, I think both of those are cute, but I love flowers, so I think it would be fun to do a little flower one. So we'll see if it works. And that I think was too much for how much I needed in that little spot. I think I can get one more little flower. We'll see. It might work, it might not. The other thing that you can do is, so if I clean off the bottom of my spoon, you can also just leave this in here If you're like, I'll start with that color next time, or I don't care if it mixes with whatever I might be doing next, you can totally just leave that and have it melt down the next time. So that's another way not to waste any of the wax, is to do that as well. I'm wondering if this wax, because it's a little warmer, is going to work better with this little thing. Let's see. I think I'm just pouring a little too much, but that's okay. We'll do little ones. Whoops. And I don't know if I'm supposed to like press it down into it like I did on that one, or you more just like set it. I don't know. We'll see. I haven't used one of these before. Let's see. I tried melting hot glue in a spoon and couldn't get the spoon cleaned. Won't do it again. That was my problem, is I felt like it did take a really long time and the spoon had to be really hot to get the hot glue out of it. So yeah, just, I guess if you're going to do that, word of warning that it might be hard to get out. I love those colors too. I do resin, so I have some of those types of trays. Perfect. I love those colors you're dipping in. Yeah, me too. These blue ones are really pretty. Okay, so let's let those cool. I'm gonna move some things, so hopefully that will get rid of a little bit of shadow. And let's do some powder. So I need a paper towel because the powder is messy, and I'm just gonna, let me just get some space cleared for this. Get my warmers out of the way, and I am going to unplug my electric warmer so that can cool down. Okay, so I've got these two, and I think I'm just gonna move everything. Actually, I'm like, I already have a paper towel with these on it, so I'm just gonna combine these. That. So here's all of the seals we did. I think for me, the single color is best. I feel like when you've got two, it just doesn't, maybe if my wax was hotter, so it was a more thin coat instead of really thick, that might help. But I think these colors are pretty together. And then let's get, so of the gold powders, I have one that's like very gold. Let me get this one out. The powders are a little messy. I should put them in a new bag. This one's bronze is the color. So that's the one I'm going to use. And I'm just going to take the lid off, and basically I just dip out of the lid. There's so much. This stuff lasts forever. Like, you will not need to buy more of this. Let's see. I was wondering if you should scrape it. I think, yeah, I think I should. We'll have to see. I'm like so curious if these are dry. Okay, I think, yeah, I think you have to kind of push it into it, but still cute. Like a cute little bead that you're going to melt down anyway. Let's see. Oh, those ones are very little. This one I did kind of, it was hotter wax, and so it got more definition on it. Yeah, definitely. So warmer wax helps, and then I think pressing into it will help. I don't know. They're not like perfect little flowers, but if you're already gonna, I mean, they look cuter than just a little blob of wax. These ones, I want to do more big ones, but those ones are kind of fun. So I'll share the link to it, but that's like a fun way, because if you're already going to have to let it cool down, it might as well look like a cute little flower. It's kind of fun. Let's see. I use molds to make earrings with the wax. It works, but not easy. Oh, interesting. I'm finding less is best with mica powders. Thank you, Brenda. Yeah, I'm thinking yeah, you don't need a lot for sure. Okay, let's try this. So I'm just going to get a little bit on my little brush. It's like a little makeup applicator. And then I'm just going to go over the raised part of the design. But you can see this one, if we compare, we'll compare the exact same sill. So what I'm using is bronze powder, and it's the Litter Bee brand versus gold. And let me see if I can. So this is the gold. This is the paint pen. It's much thicker. This is the powder, and I haven't put that much on, but I feel like I could put more to make it a little more vibrant. Let's try it. But the tone is much better and matches these tones of the browns way better than the gold does. So that's why I was like, I want to get the other one because I just think it matches better. Let's try some over here with these. So the one thing with glass glitter and hot glue is that it will stick to parts of the hot glue that it's not supposed, that it's just like if it touches it, it'll start sticking. So you just have to get those off. This is a new one, a sunflower stamp from the shop, but I really like this one. I really like the texture in the center of the flower. I think it's really pretty. But yeah, this powder is so much better. Where did my other little ones go that... Oh yeah, this one. So you can kind of see the difference in the tone with the yellow in the gold versus this color. It's just more, just matches a little better. Let's see. I'm like, there's glass glitter everywhere. You can also grab little tweezers if that helps to get it off. I just don't want it where I'm adding the powder. But because hot glue is sticky, it kind of will stick to it sometimes. Or like this one, that's where it landed, and it's like, it was on there pretty good. Okay, let's do these ones. All right, you guys, let me know for next week what you would like to see for tutorials. If there's something specific that you're like, we should do this technique, or these colors, or these type of stamp designs, anything like that, please add it to the comment as an idea, because I want to keep these. I guess my goal with these Wax Seal Lives is, a big part of it is just to try to help build like community, like within the Wax Seal community. So that's part of why it's like free, and just to be here and create kind of camaraderie among wax seal makers. And then also just to teach and share what I know. So if you have anything specific, let me know. Yesterday, I did finally press some flowers for wax seals, which I'm really excited about. I have one little plant in the back that makes flowers. It has flowers small enough for seals. And last year, like in the summer, it just stopped producing, I think, because it got too hot. And so this year, it kind of slowed down in the producing, and I'm worried that it's like done. So I hurried and got my press out and got a bunch of the flowers, because I'm like, I don't want to miss these like last year and have them be gone. I think they might still be coming back because there were still a few little like buds on it. So I think it might be coming back, but anyway, I'll have to show you those ones once they're dried. I think they'll make really pretty seals. And then if you get any, this has that little piece on it. Can you see that? We can just pull that off and it's no big deal. So let me know what you think. Do you like the blues? Let's do a light blue. The blues better or more of like these neutral tones with the sealing wax? Let me know what you think. Which one you like better? I just don't want any of these little glass glitters where the design is. Sherry said, can we do one on flower pressing? Yeah, that would be fun. I'm trying to think, because I don't have a ton of flowers right now. But maybe that little plant by next week we'll have more little ones that we could do a field trip to go outside and pick some. But it turned out really well because it has little flowers. So we pressed some of just the flowers so they're flat. But we also pressed some that were like the little sprigs with several little flowers on them. And I think those ones will actually turn out even better. Like I'm most excited about those. But yeah, that'd be fun to talk about flower pressing. And just tips for flowers that are good for wax sills, because a lot of flowers are so large they won't work with a sill very well or easily. All right, so what's your vote? The blue wax or the neutrals? Let's take a look. I didn't color all of them. This is the light blue, so that's linen. I do like that. I think I like the dark blue more than the light blue, but that's pretty. And then there's the neutrals. Let me know what you guys think. And I think, I mean, this is on a paper towel. It doesn't look as pretty on a paper towel. But I think it's kind of a fun technique and just adds a little bit of color without a ton. So I think it's fun. Let's see. The darker Wedgwood blue, blues. Blue, I'd like to see very light mint green. Yeah, blues are most striking. Neutrals. Barbara, you're a lady after my own heart. I love the neutrals. Jackie, awesome. Yeah, I think it could be fun because I think you could do a lot of different colors, and depending on the colors you do could kind of change the vibe of the seal, right? So you could do more fall colors in the fall or Christmassy, like reds and greens during Christmas. And so it could totally change the look of the sill just based on what you're dipping into. So I think it's kind of a fun and different technique. And we didn't do it today, but I did have the gold foil. I also had brought these, so maybe another time, but you could also put in some little flowers. Like I think there's options of what you kind of sprinkle on the top. That could be really fun as well. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining. That's all I had for today. I'm going to finish these ones and maybe I'll do a few more blues to balance out the blues versus the neutrals. But thank you guys so much for joining. So maybe next week we'll do flower pressing, or if you have other ideas of techniques you're like, oh, I'd love to see this demoed or anything like that, just let me know. Send me a DM on Facebook or on Instagram, and we can do that. I'm just going to check the comment through one more time. Thank you guys for joining. Let's see. Yvonne said, dip tree ones in white so it's snow. Yes, I love that idea. That would be very cute. Very cute. So thank you guys so much for joining in, and I will see you next week for Wax Sill Live next Thursday, 1:30 p.m., and we'll do some more fun wax sills. So I'll see you guys then. Thank you guys so much for joining.